Hey guys, welcome to CIT135. My name is Jeff Seaman, and I will be teaching this course this semester. You'll see that the way I kind of do the class will be a little bit different than normally since it's an online class. I like to do videos as much as possible. So each lesson, each week that we go over I'll give you a lecture that'll be talking about the week, what we're going to learn. We'll talk about some of the specific features that are more important for that week for us to learn. And go from there. And I like to do video presentations as much as possible. I think it's important that you are taking this class online, but you still don't feel kind of alienated as if you're the only person taking this course. So it's important to do as much visualization as possible. I apologize for the background noise. There is a pipeline going through the back of my property right now, and it's been going on for several months, so that background noise is actually not bad today. Normally it's a lot worse as I am outside. So today is the first lecture for week one. This week is going to be a lot of making sure that we have a lot of things installed properly. So one of the things that we'll use in this class is we'll use Android Studio, which is important for us to utilize. It's the IDE that we'll use in order to develop Android applications. We will use a source repository. More specific, we'll use GitLab. So this week we'll talk about how to prepare for GitLab. We'll use command line language. You can use alternate tools, but in this class I'm only going to teach you how to do it command line. You could learn the other ways on your own if you prefer. And importantly, there'll be some, in this class, there'll be like discussion questions and so forth. So right now, I'm going to go over the syllabus, and I'll show you the syllabus. We could go over it. We'll talk through the syllabus and tell you what to expect, and then I'll show you where all the material is at and what will be going on for this week and so forth. Okay? All right, so here's the information on the syllabus, so hopefully you can see it here. I have my name. I have the faculty secretary's information here. Talking about that, the email address. This is an online class. It starts on the 4th of September, which is in a few days. It's a 3-credit course. So the course description, the course provides the student with hands-on skills necessary to develop applications for handheld mobile devices. So in this case, Android is the device that we're going to be utilizing. In this course, you will learn the basic understanding of how a source code repository along with different software development life cycles work. Now, from the software development or the system development life cycles, I'll kind of touch basis on it, but it won't be a requirement in this class. If this was an in-person class, then it may be a little bit different. So in this class, some of the specific areas that we'll talk about, and we'll go into a little bit greater detail in this course. And I think it's important that, some of us have had some of this training and so forth, so I think it'll be a pretty good course. We'll learn how to use Git and GitLab. We'll talk about how to install the use of Git functions, source code repository, installation. Now that all happened this first week. Introduction to Android development. That'll start next week when we actually start getting into coding. We'll talk about application visuals and views. So how to establish our environment, how to establish it's like setting up a web page, but now we're using a mobile application. We're setting up this display. We'll discuss design with application visuals. We'll talk about debugging and activities. How can you debug? What types of activities that'll be involved? We'll provide an introduction on list views and layouts. So there's different layouts you can use. You can use the customized ones that come with Android, or you can even go out to different websites and download your own layouts as well. We'll discuss Android media, animations. We'll get even a little bit greater detail. We'll talk about storage in Android. So we'll set up a SQLite database and be able to have our own database on the back end. We will talk about, so the SQLite database is 2 parts because there's a lot to cover. So it'll be probably 2 weeks in a row. Then we'll have an introduction on Firebase cloud development. So now not only are we going to be able to set up an application, but also we're going to be able to do it in the Firebase, which is a newer, modern way of using a different database. It's like kind of using Amazon Web Services. So this class is going to be a really good class. Learning outcomes. So when a student completes this, they're going to basically have the understanding of use of object-oriented programming. More importantly, they're going to be able to establish, you're going to be able to create an Android application from scratch. So you might have a good idea and you'll have a really good understanding how to do that. This right here is a required books, the text. Computer obviously is required. Something more modern, so if you have a computer that's like 5 or 6 or 7 years older, you might have some problems. Android Studio, Git Bash, and GitLab. Teaching methods in this classroom. So this classroom is an online classroom. Everyone in my online class functions as software engineers. We work individually and together toward making a stronger software development. So this is an online class, so obviously we have our own hours, and we'll talk about how that will affect our stuff that we have here. Each week I have a lecture and a lab. So lecture will be me talking about something for the week, something specific, whether it's me showing you some slides or me talking to you face to face. I'd like to try to add some face to face so you know that I am here. And then we'll have a video each week on something that we're working on. Now this right here, this talks about you must complete up to 7 assignments, so this is actually wrong because we're doing 10 assignments. Individually, and everyone will have a project to complete. Now the project is going to be different, and we'll talk about what the project is in the upcoming week or two, but the project is going to be a group project, and I'll explain how is that going to work online. It could be tough, but we'll explain it. The class will consist of the following. We'll have a midterm exam, a final exam, a project, and homework and activities. So each week could be an activity, a discussion question, or something along that lines. There will be opportunities to earn bonus points throughout the semester, and these opportunities may be to attend a seminar, or write a paper, and so forth. Normally I do a class selfie, but since we're online, that will not work. Here is what you'll go over in the course. We'll have 10 assignments throughout the semester. They're worth 100 points each. And now this week's assignment is only worth 50 points, so that's kind of changed a little bit. The discussion questions, we'll do 5 discussions or / activities. They're worth 20 points, and they won't be every week. They could be every other week. Our tests, 2 tests, midterm and final, 150 each. Project, 1 project, it's worth 600 points. So that's where a significant amount of your grade comes. So you could get up to 2,000 points plus bonus points. I'd say, does anyone have questions? But really hard to answer that. All right, other policies and procedures, copying and failure to turn in your own work, that's anywhere. I'll let you read up on that. Communication is a big one, so if you email me on Friday and I don't get back to you till Monday, that's very possible because I have a lot going on. Attendance, you can ignore this because this really doesn't apply to you at all because we're doing this online. So it doesn't matter, we don't have a setting where you actually have to come to class. So that is out. Late assignments, each student must turn their assignment in. So basically, you have to turn your assignment in by 11:59 p.m. the day of. But if not, I'll give you, it's 10%, 20%, and 30%. But if you have a problem, please reach out to me and let me know that you're going to have a problem turning in your assignment. You need a little extension. I'm pretty flexible, but you got to reach out to me. Don't reach out to me a week later because that would be a problem. Makeup exams, I will permit you to make up 1 exam. So if you do bad on an exam and you want to make it up, reach out to me and I'll let you take it again. So if you need to retake an exam, that's fine, but you only get to do it 1 time. So let's say that you retook the midterm and then you have the final to take, then I won't let you retake the final if you mess it up. So choose wisely, but most important thing, if you study, you have nothing to worry about. I'll let you read over assignments thing. Don't come back to me. I had a student, my first semester I taught was at CCAC. I had a student that did no work. And he came to me week 14 and asked me if he could turn in the 13 previous assignments within a week, which was impossible. And then told me he needs an A or he'll be in trouble. Well, that didn't turn out too well for him. I never accept assignment through an email. So you're going to have to check all your assignments. Going to be checked in via Git, and then you'll have to email me through the Blackboard and say, hey, here's the link to my Git repository, and that's how we do it. And same thing here. Even if it's just one .java file, you can't do that. You can't do it through you have to turn it all into Git. Now I have individual project. This needs to be changed because I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this, but we're going to do a group project. Week 3 or 4, it'll be sooner than that. Like week 2 or 3, we'll actually start talking about the project. Miscellaneous, if you get caught sleeping in class, you guys can sleep in class all you want because guess what? It's online. It doesn't matter. So you need to take that out. And I apologize for this. This is only because I've used this for an in-person class, and then I usually what they do is we have a template to follow, and then I take that template and I just go through it, and I miss this. Emergency notifications, closings. This really doesn't affect us because we're online. Drop and add withdrawal. I'll let you read through that on your own time. If you drop or withdraw from the class, there's the CCAC portal. All right, there we go. So, all right, so week 1, and we have everything broken down. Each week will be a module. Module 1, all the way up to 14 modules. So Module 1 will do the syllabus, which we're talking about right now. Introduction to Android Studio, Git. So I have videos already set up for you to go through, and I'll walk through that in a moment here with Blackboard. So this week, it says no assignment. It's a lie. There is an assignment. It's a minor assignment. We'll go through that in a minute. And then the icebreaker is worth 10 points. Everyone will go into their discussion, and you'll actually write something about yourself. And everyone must go to an assignment and reply that you've read and understand the syllabus. I'll send that information out as well. But the thing is, when you guys are doing your discussions for the week, it's important that not only do you do a discussion and say who you are, but you must reply to at least 2 other people in your class of their discussion as well. So this week is an introduction. I'm looking for you to tell us who you are, where you're from. Are you from Pittsburgh? Are you from another state? Did you move here? What is your major, or what's your reason for taking this course? Are you majoring in, are you getting an associate's degree here? Are you getting a certificate? Are you looking to transfer to a 4-year college? Something along that lines. And also talk about what you're looking to get out of this course. So if this is an elective, what are you looking to get out of this? Or if this is part of your certificate or degree, what is your motive of getting out of this? And something about yourself that maybe no one else knows about. And I'll have my information out there as well. I had started on it, but I have not completed it. So that'll be the first week. And each week, I won't go through this. Next week, this might change up a little bit. We'll actually start getting into coding in week 2. We'll start learning how to do Android development. We'll start learning with the basics. We'll talk about, like I said, the visuals one week. We'll talk about designing an app visual. We'll talk about debugging. Week 7 is the week that we'll have the midterm exam. So usually I don't have it in here, but the week before I'll do a video and do a layout of what the midterm is going to be. I'll go through all the questions, and I know that there are several people in this class that have taken my course before, whether in person, and they know that I'm pretty good with going over exams. So I give you the benefit of the doubt. There will be a bonus question on there. It'll be relevant to nothing in this class. There'll be something in Pittsburgh, like how many bridges are in Pittsburgh, what's the smallest bridge, something silly like that. And it'll be a bonus question that you'll have opportunity to get bonus points that'll apply to the final. There'll be usually the midterm or the final in this case is broken into 2 parts. Part 1 is questions. The other part is writing code. We'll talk about Android media animations, introduction to storage in Android. We talked a little bit about that, Firebase, and so forth. So it gets us into some really good things. Importantly here is week 12, 11, 19. There is no class that week, online or in person, so no classes, so remember that. Week 13, when you come back from the break, we'll start talking about part 2 of Firebase application development. And then week 14, we're already into reviewing the final exam, and then it is the final exam. Now, I have final exam presentation. Obviously, there is not a way that we could do the presentation in person. So as we get down the line, I'll explain to you what I'm looking from you, because you guys are going to be online, so it'll be kind of unique, but it will work, and we'll talk about how that is going to work as well. All right, so this is with the syllabus. Let me stop there. All right, so I'm logging into the Blackboard here. Alrighty, and let's go into discussion mode. I'll show you what yours will look like. It's going to look like this. Come on. It's going really slow because this video is taking up a lot of memory on my computer for some reason. Alright, so this is what the Blackboard looks like. Hopefully you've used it before. CIT135. I have all the information here. I have, see, maybe not everything is showing here. Let me put it in edit mode. Maybe I have some stuff hiding here. Alright, so I probably have some stuff hiding here. So you'll have the syllabus right here that we went over in class, and I've already emailed it to you, so that will be available there. I don't know why it's going so slow. It has to be my video. And then there is, wow, never gone this slow before. Alright, so it has course requirements. It just tells you what you require to take this course. So we did course syllabus. Must be connected to a slow. You know what? I'm connected to my internet outside. I have a internet router outside, and it is what's taking forever. As you see, I have a lot of internet hotspots around my property. So we have the requirements, which talk about GitLab account, download Git, Android Studio. You will need a screen video software, kind of like this, because you'll need it for your final project, and maybe some upcoming things in class. You'll need a Slack account. I had sent an invitation out. If you did not get an invitation, please let me know, because it is a requirement to take this course. And then Git Bash will be a thing as well. Another thing is, let's see, if we go into content. Go back out here. That is not what I'm looking for. Alright guys, I'm going to come back to another video. I'm going to have a second part of the lecture, because my computer is about ready to crash. It's utilizing all the memory that it has to, and I can't show you what I want to show you here, so I'll have a part 2. Thanks for watching and listening. Have a good day.